We're in the Steel City, Lernerville Speedway in Sarver, Pennsylvania. It's week number 10 of Monday Night Madness, brought to you by the Osh Weekend Speedway. Three weeks left to go in the spring season, then we say hello to summer. Open 358s, Rebels, Renegades. We got some money on the line. We cannot wait for what goes down. We are so glad you could join us on the Coast to Coast Racing Network. I'm Marty Sakala, joined alongside Brandon Dittmer and Zach Chapman. BD, let's start with you. 3 weeks left on the year. We are in crunch time. Yeah, we'll see what goes down, that's for sure. Zach Chapman, my normal broadcast partners, is always on Monday night. Let's talk about who we could watch out for here tonight. 3 drivers in the Open 358s, each with 2 wins on the season. Anthony Morano, Logan Wentz, Michael Vitale, they will be the threats here tonight. But there's one guy you got to watch out for very closely, who was key on Thursday night, and that was Dylan Kinsey.
Dylan's one of those guys who can run the bottom, and I think we're really going to see that come into play here with the open setups. You're going to see guys be able to utilize a gear change and really hook up on the bottom as the track progresses.
We'll get things set up here. 2 minutes to qualifying for all the drivers. We'll check the first driver that makes his way out on the track, and we'll go to Brandon Templeton in the number 31. One of the more impressive drivers that we saw last week, Zach, I think it was in the big block race that he took the checkered flag in and had a great performance at Kern Raceway.
Yeah, he rode the lip there and was able to steal it. You know, that's something he loves, running the top. He's going to be able to do here again. It's going to be all how you set up that car. This is going to be quite an interesting race. I don't mean to sound like a broken record, but real wide track, and with the open setups, it just leaves so much open. So you're going to be able to run the top or the bottom.
Templeton currently the quickest at a 15.364. Let's see how he does in the turn number 3 and 4. He goes off the racetrack. Let's go to Steven Stewart, the 29, currently second quick as he makes his way across the start-finish line. Is this a better lap? No, off by 0.2. Sam Bachman, though, third quickest. Quick time, Michael Vitale in the 2:13. 15.34 with a fast lap for the number 213 Bicknell. Anthony Morano, third quick. Steven Stewart just went across the line, fourth quick. Jeff Barker, sixth quickest. Go ahead.
Yeah, and, you know, clicking back, looking at some of these guys, Marty, Brandon did it on the top, Michael Vitale did it on the bottom, so it just goes to show here at the start of the heat, we're going to have a super racy track. We're in for a treat.
A couple of drivers working on some final laps here. Gavin Chatham with a much better lap here, goes up to 7th quick at a 15.46. So that will mean here with a 22 driver car count, your pole sitters for tonight will be Dan McLaren, Dylan Kinsey, and Harold Klump for heat action. And you can see as well, don't forget, bottom left of your screen, I swear, it feels like it's been forever since we've done this on a coast-to-coast broadcast. The fall-off count has returned. Let us know your predictions for tonight's fall-off count. Remember, 3 races. In the past, we've done 2. We are at 3. We're set to go, meanwhile, for heat race number 1, brought to you by our good friends at Flatline Racing Bodies. Here's a look at the starting lineup. Dan McLaren on pole position tonight in the 88. Next to him, it's Gavin Chatham in car 99. Row number 2, it's Steven Stewart in the 29 and Michael Vitale in the 213. Row 3, Brian Lawson in the number 9 and Logan Wentz in the 118. And in row number 4, it's Bob DeGood in the number 7, and it's Bristow, baby, Craig Bristow in the 89. All right, boys, what are we thinking? What are we thinking for fall-off count tonight? I'm going to go with it being 3 divisions, I'm going to go with 26. All right, you're going to go 30. All right, what about you, BD? Oh, hang on. Apologies there.
Green
Didn't
flag,
check the
green flag.
mics beforehand. All right, go ahead.
I'm going to go a little high. I want to say 38.
38. He's going 38. Chapman's going 30. I say 26 as we're green for heat race number 1. Winner on pole position for tonight's feature attraction. Sideways already, Steven Stewart in the 29, but he does a 360, keeps on going. But it's McLaren that leads lap number 1.
Yeah, Gavin Chatham's not really wanting that high side. He's trying to pinch those guys down on the bottom. I think he wants to be down on the bottom. Seems like that's the place to be right now. So just trying to pinch that 213 off. He should be able to take the line away here coming out of 2.
So Chatham able to clear Vitale. Logan Wentz, though, stuck in the 4th position. Everybody transfers to tonight's feature with our car count just under 24 this evening. Everyone pretty much single file for right now, Brandon.
Yeah, everybody's keeping a single file. Nobody's really trying to get after anything as 213 kind of makes a little bit of contact with Gavin Chatham there as he's trying to work on something out of 2. And here comes, I forget who that is, out of 4.
Logan Wentz underneath for the 3rd position. Wentz started in 6th in this heat race. Not a good qualifying run for the Full Throttle Motorsports entry, but now trying to make his way up to 3rd here, Zach, as we're coming to 1 to go.
Yeah, I got my red, white, and blue on today. I'm supporting the FTM boys. Love to see those guys go, but Logan, he needs to go now. He needs to get a spot. He doesn't want to start back this far in the feature.
Right now it's the Venom Racing number 88 out in front. Dan McLaren to the checkered flag. He takes the win in heat race number 1. Chatham 2nd, Vitale 3rd, and it's Wentz, Lawson, DeGood, Bristol, and Stewart. So McLaren is on pole position tonight. Now moving on to heat race number 2, which is brought to you by Full Throttle Motorsports, an official team of the Coast to Coast Racing Network. Dylan Kinsey starts on pole position for heat race number 2. Next to him in the number 83, it's the Spider Monkey, Brandon Dittmer. So a pair of 83s on row number 1. Sam Bachman inside of row number 2 in the 107. Next to B-Temp, Brandon Templeton in the 31. Row number 3, it's Dean Reynolds in the 79. And Butters, Jason Butterfield in the 93. Jake Henry rounds out the grid tonight. He starts from position number 7. Brandon, best of luck in this heat.
Thank you.
Oh yeah, let's know who you're rooting for in the chat room this evening.
Marty, where have I been? Has Brandon been running that paint job all season?
That is
that
a new paint
job?
scheme. I believe that is the T-Mac. I'm sorry, not the T-Mac. That's the Timmer scheme. Tim Sears Jr. paint job. Regular in the Super Dirt Car Series. So.
What a slick paint job.
All right, we're green for heat race number 2. Kinsey gets away with a good start. Dittmer looking around the outside. Nearly goes over the back straight berm. Sideways is Reynolds and collects Jason Butterfield in the process. So 2 cars tangle. Luckily, everybody transfers into the big show, but right now, race for 2nd, Zach.
Yeah, Brandon tried to maybe go high in turns 3 and 4 last lap, and Kinsey shut the door on him. That kind of made him get on the binders, and now Samuel Bachman's underneath, and he's not going away. He's trying to throw it in there, going to hit the 83 of Kinsey. He's going to lose 2 spots, but that's really going to help out the Brandons here, as here they come on Dylan Kinsey.
Underneath for the race lead is the Spider Monkey with B-Temp right behind him. Can't make the pass work as we're halfway home. That's Jake Henry, though, the quickest the last time by a 15:53. He's liking what he's seen in front of him. He just hopes that they wreck.
Yeah, without these guys getting into it a little bit, I think he's just got too much ground to cover. But Brandon Dittmer, he's throwing it in here. He's got the left front in the grass. He's going to make it stick, but he's going to lose some time coming out of 2.
Everyone's enjoying the low side here in this heat so far. Could that help out Dylan Kinsey? Play some defense if Dittmer and maybe even Templeton get an opportunity. We've got 1 lap to go, though, in heat race numero 2. Kinsey, nice gap down the back chute. I think that's enough of a gap to try and win it, though. Dittmer sends it in deep off for turn 4. Kinsey takes the win in heat 2. Dittmer 2nd, Templeton 3rd, Bachman 4th, Henry 5th, Reynolds 6th, and Butterfield 7th. Brandon, you almost got him there.
Almost. Skill's not quite good enough to get up there.
Close only works in horseshoes and hand grenades.
Yeah,
Just,
Indeed it does.
ask James McFadden.
Oh, that's cold.
What a finish the other night, though, since we're going to bring it up.
12
Man.
thousandths of a second, and high limit running tonight at Kokomo, and they'll be in my neck of the woods later this week. So, but Heat 3 brought to you by Glen Ridge Motorsports Park, home of the Dirt Car 350 Modifieds on Sundays. They just had their opening night last night, and I heard it was a good one with a good crowd. So here's the starting lineup as it's Harold Klump on pole position, the 555. Next to him, it's Daddy's Money, Connor Ross in the number 35. Row 2, it's the Brute to Beast, Jeff Barker in the 513, and the Ant-Man, Anthony Morano, in the 32. Row number 3, Bud Molyneux in the 883. Next to Randall Dixon in the 011. Rounding out the grid, Jacob Brown in the 723. Winner starts inside of row number 2 for tonight's feature. Here we go. Klump and Ross just about touch north bars. No yaw for the 555. It's 3 wide for second, now 3 wide for third. Don't look now, though, Connor Ross. You got company from Anthony Morano, and we're nearly 4 wide off of turn number 4.
Yeah, and we were starting to see the high line come in there a little bit in the middle of that heat, and now we're seeing it really come in. Big run from the 32 here. Connor Ross has to go up and shut the door, but slide job from Anthony Morano.
What a clear from Anthony Morano to take the lead. Connor Ross, though, with the crisscross. Applesauce wants the slide job on the 32, and he's got it. Nice distance, can't play defense, though, on the 32. Morano's got to run, Dittmer.
And these guys are making it fun to watch up front as that top side is really starting to come in. As Morano unfortunately gets stuck on the bottom there, Morano Ross is going to go right back by him on the outside.
You're in that Bud Molyneux crowd, so we'll take a look at a replay in just a matter of moments, but it's door to door off for turn number 4. On board with Randall Dixon with 2 laps to go.
Anthony Morano, he's trying to hold on the inside, but he's just not getting to run off the corner. He's got to throw one last haymaker here, try to park it on the 35.
There it
is.
is.
His only chance.
Woo. White flag is out, 1 lap to go. Is that what Morano does at the finish of this race? We'll just have to see what happens. Ross with a slide job, clears Anthony Morano, gives him a little bit of a bumper. Morano with an opportunity into turn number 3, sends it in deep. Here they come off for 4. The Ant-Man pulls it off and wins the heat. And a crash between him and Barker just after the checkers. But what a finish to heat race number 3. Do need to check as well real quick for the fall off count if Molyneux. Nope, he did not fall off. So we'll step aside and go to break. When we come back, it's feature time at Lernerville. Stay with us, the Coast to Coast Racing Network. We are back here on the Coast to Coast Racing Network, getting set to go for featured time. Brandon Templeton currently the quickest lap in warm-ups. Look at the bottom left corner of your screen. This may be a first ever for us. The fall-off count is 0 entering our first feature of the night. Who saw that coming?
Everybody heard our crazy high predictions and just like, we're going to show these guys what's up.
I swear, if we have 0 at the end of this feature, I'm going to lose it. I may actually walk off set. I'm not kidding.
It's a tall task.
Yes,
I think they might be able to manage.
Yes.
You got close to going off there, Brandon. That first lap going down the back
we were
stretch.
right
I thought
on,
you were going over.
I
You
think we
saved
were riding
it.
on board with you.
Oh, I know what you're talking about. That was close.
But anyway, we're set to go for our first feature of the night. Let's meet the field and give you the RSN trackside starting lineup. On the pole, Soupy Dan McLaren in the number 88. Next to him, it's Dylan Kinsey in the 639. Row number 2, the Ant-Man, Anthony Morano in the 32, and Gavin Chatham in the 39. Row number 3, the Spider Monkey, Brandon Dittmer in car number 83, and next to him, it's Canada Connor Ross in the number 35. Row number 3, Michael Vitale in the 213, and next to him, it's B-Top, Brandon Templeton in the 31. Rounding out the top 10 for tonight's feature, Randall Dixon in the 011 and Logan Wentz in the 118. Row number 6, Sam Bachman in the 107 and the Brewington Beast, Jeff Parker in the 513. Row 7, Brian Lawson in the 9, Jake Henry in the 171. Row 8, Harold Clump with a 555 and Bob DeGood in the number 7. Rest of the field looked like this. Row 9, Dean Reynolds in the 79 and Jacob Brown in the 723. Greg Bristow in the 89, Jason Butterfield in the 93. Final row, Bud Molyneux in the 883, and Steven Stewart in the 29. No call for Logan Wentz to grid here, so he may jump on the grid later on. So real quick before we get things going here, predictions to win. We'll start with you, BD.
Hard to go against anybody but Anthony Morano.
There you go, Morano. All right, Zach.
I'm taking Brandon Templeton.
I'm taking Dylan Kinsey to get things done here tonight. So, Brandon, good luck to you, man.
Thank you.
I'm telling you now, too, Dean Reynolds is going to get that hard charger. You keep an eye on that 79. He has been quick.
His starting position is 17th officially, so it's a little something to keep in mind here. Got my text window pull up here in case we get any fall off, so we can update it on the spot. Steve King Foundation pace car is on pit road. We are set to go racing for 30 laps in the Steel City Lernerville Speedway. McLaren and Kinsey bring us to green. It's time to get it on. McLaren gets on the grass and pushes up early, but somehow hangs on to the lead. But it's 3 wide for the top spot. Morano wasting no time trying to get to the point of the pack. And at lock 1, way too close to call. It may have been Dylan Kinsey.
Yeah, I believe it was. That high side starting to come in. But, man, that 32 did what he needed to do. Pounced, and he's up to P2. He's going to take that high side now and just try to run down that 83.
Now let's see what Morano can do. Looking for second. Gavin Chatham trying to become a part of the picture as well as they make their way into turn number 1. The low line was the place to be during the feature. Trouble. Jacob Brown takes a lick in turn number 2, and the first yellow flies tonight. Take a look at a replay to show you what happened. Let's get this in real time, please. So Brown was really blinking pretty bad. Look at Brandon Dittmer up on 2 wheels and kept the car straight. Yeah, it was a netcode spin off of Jason Butterfield, and Bud Molyneux has nowhere to go. So Brown will get a quick repair, then make his way back out on the track. By the way, if you're new to the Coast to Coast Racing Network and you are not familiar with how we do our Monday broadcast at Lernerville, our Slide Job Racing Network broadcast at Lernerville, we like to predict the fall-off count. Think of it as the former flip count at the Chili Bowl and stuff. We do the fall-off count. How many people go over the banking tonight under green flag action? So right now it's still in Kinsey up front early, but right now your biggest mover so far here, Zach, Jason Butterfield, started 20th. He's up to 14th early.
Yeah, he just has to pick his way through the pack, and Butters is real smart. We know that. We watch him race week in and week out, and he's just going to do a good job of picking and choosing where he has to go and trying to avoid the guys he knows he needs to avoid.
Try this restart with 2 laps in the books. Check that, 3 laps in the books. Dylan Kinsey, the control car, selects the outside line as we're back to green. McLaren, time to restart. I would guess pretty well,
Spin in the
but
back.
we got a big wreck. Craig Bristol, the 007 of Bachman, Brian Lawson. I think Dino may have captured a piece of that as well. So we go back to yellow flag here. Let's see what happened. It may have been a stack up in the back of the pack here.
Yeah, that's what it was. It looks like it starts with the 31 and the 35 and just triggers from there on back.
They did not go until later, and luckily it was not a bigger wreck like you normally see on restarts. Some of the drivers in the back just got on the brakes and just came to a crawling stop. Let's go on board Brian Lawson and show you what he saw. Let's give you as well Craig Bristol. Apparently we had something else with Dino that happened out. Oh, he saw it right there in the background. Thought for a moment he had an incident in turn 1. But no, that was not the case.
No. I mean, what can we really say about that one? That one's a little rough. You kind of think when a caution's coming out that the guy behind is going to lift a little bit. The tough break for Dino. We're going double file again here.
Yep, our final double file race for second place. 8 laps complete here in our first feature of the night. Connor Ross, oh my goodness, look how high he was. All the way up on the Larson lane for the runner-up spot. But Morano had the door shut up on the top shelf.
Yeah, now Morano, he went up there and 1 and 2 ran up real high. He got a good run on Dittmer, but he's going to run that middle line in 3 and 4 again. Just not willing to go as high as Connor Ross in turns 3 and 4.
On the high side, the preferred line off for turn number 2. Morano's got a chance for the race lead, but McLaren shuts the door and he prevents the slider attempt from happening. What a race this is so far. Oh, look how Morano got squeezed up in the wall by McLaren. Somehow hangs on to it, but it's back to 4.
Yeah, Anthony Morano's not going to be very happy, but I'll tell you what, that 35's got a huge smile on his face because the C's parted and he took over P3. He's battling for P2, and now he's going to go for the lead.
Morano still trying. How high can you go? Connor shuts the door on him. Now McLaren switches up top, and the yellow flag waves for Bud Molyneux and Jacob Brown. Oh my goodness, what a long run that was.
Yeah, with a lot of dice in there.
See what happened here to the 883. Contact between the good and Reynolds, and Molyneux cannot slow up in time. Then you see Jacob Brown hit him there in the aftermath.
Yeah, it looked like Bob DeGood drove in a little hard, got into the 555, and then Dean got into DeGood after he checked up. Not really much could happen there. All happened so fast. Just a racing dude.
This is on board with the 723. Man, it's like he just kept on the gas and slid up into the lane. Very strange accident. So I believe this will be a single file restart. while we wait, let's pop up the 5-lap average. Actually, hold the thought, we can't just yet. We are working on it though.
All right, man. Lights are back on the pace car. We're not going
lights
green
are back
this time.
on the
We are
pace
not
car.
going green.
It was 1 to green, but I believe we're going to take an extra lap on. I believe it's just so we get those that are on pit lane, get them out of there, because you know sometimes that can create yellow flags that people don't want. All right, I think we've got the 5-lap average here, so let's take a look at it. And there you see, obviously Morano, when he hit the wall, slowed his lap time just a bit. It's both Dittmer and Vitali that are putting up the best laps. But remember, that was a 5-car battle we were watching for the lead there, Zach.
Yeah, and it's anybody's game as to who can take this thing here. I know Brandon's got the benefit of listening to us, and you notice that the high side's been rolling out of 1 and 2, but when you're not up to speed in these things, you know, are you willing to risk it to go up there right away in turns 1 and 2 and try to get the big run and open the door? But, you know, so many possibilities here.
See what happens with 13
flag,
laps
green
of the books.
flag.
We're back to green. McLaren holds serve, keeps Dittmer downstairs on the bottom. Connor Ross decides to shift it up top. Once we get a couple laps into green flag conditions, that's when you see the high side start to come in really, really well. Now Connor Ross making a run for second.
Yeah, he got over that bump, though, on the entry to turn 1, real close to that wall. Didn't gain any time on Brandon at all. And, man, that 32's getting a little frustrated. Maybe gives the 35 a little tap going into the corner. Let him know, hey, man, you got to go if you want to run up here.
He wants to get back at Dan McLaren extremely badly. 15 up and 15 down. Dan McLaren has dominated this race so far. Templeton takes a peek downstairs to the 4th position. Biggest mover so far in this race is Jason Butterfield. He started 20th. He's up to 12th. We continue, though, to watch the race for second. Here comes Connor looking for around the Spider Monkey.
Yeah, Brandon's just rotating up to the top of the track going down the straightaways right at the perfect time, and it breaks Connor's momentum, and he's got to go up over that hill into turn 1. He's just doing a good job of holding him off, but, man, I don't know how long if Connor gets ripping to the top.
It's like aero blocking in NASCAR. We saw a lot of that these past few weeks. Oh, Connor caught that little hump entering turn number 1. Gave Morano an opportunity to fight for the bottom step of the podium.
Yeah, he's been getting into that bump. The way Brandon's rotating up, it's just throwing off that 35. Brandon's doing a good job, but look who, that Brandon Templeton's coming. He's taking a look.
Looking for the 4th position on the high side is the low line starting to give out possibly. Not too sure just yet. Man, Templeton nearly over the banking down the back straight. Nearly got squeezed out of there by Connor Ross. Tough trying to hang on to 3rd spot. He is coming like jogs.
Yeah, Connor was running the top, but, man, Brandon's up there running in outer space.
On the track. Jason Butterfield and Harrow Club Butterfield on his side. We'll have to see what happened there. Hard charger, yeah, we jinxed him. Caught the wall. There you see Harold Clump get into it. Let's right on board with the 555. He had nowhere to go.
Yeah, no, you see him get out of the gas, try to turn down, but it just... no room to be able to yank the car down that quick. These things do not turn on a dime, that's for sure, Marty.
Now, what are you thinking here if you're Dan McLaren? How do you approach these final 8 laps or so, or final 9 laps? Do you
just got to...
Go ahead.
You've got to adjust based on who's behind you. Right now, Dittmer likes the bottom, so he's got to stay to the bottom, keep protecting. But I'll tell you what, as soon as that 31 gets... lap or 2 under his belt here and gets that thing up the full song, he better go up to the top and protect, because that high side is coming, Marty.
Templeton, in fact, was the best race car in the last 5 laps. That's a little something to keep in mind there. If Templeton takes second it's going to be tough to see how you approach it if you're McLaren. You may not just want the top side, but you may have to play defense on the bottom line in case a slide job comes into effect.
You ready for the fireworks?
9-lap shootout at Lernerville. It's like the Firecracker 100, but with modifieds this time. McLaren keeps Dittmer on the bottom. Templeton the first man up top. Connor selects the middle line for this restart. Everyone staying single file wherever you look. Templeton for second with Connor chasing after him. He's got to run off for turn 2. They're side by side.
That 31 is coming. He's just so straight up there on the top.
What a monster run for Templeton. I thought for a moment he was going to get both Dimmer and McLaren.
Here he goes.
McLaren tries to cut him off. This is a track that B-Temp is so good at in the modified. Can he take the lead? Top shelf where Mama hides the cookies. He just grabbed them with 6 to go.
Yeah, now can he just hang on? He's got to make sure he's clear now of Dan throwing any haymakers here, I'd imagine. He's just got to stay up on the top. He's got to be smooth and hope that he can just pull away from that 35.
From 8th to the race lead, B-Temp out in front. But Connor Ross, though, is liking the high side. Could he have a chance of the win on Templeton?
I think Connor's learned a lot following this 31. He was slowing up the high side early on, if we're going to be honest. He'd admit to that. And he's learned a lot following that 31, and I just don't know if he has anything for him yet, though.
He tries to diamond turn number 2, keeps the ground at about 2 car lengths. That may not have been a good corner for him, though. 3 laps to go. Templeton up by a half second.
No, and you know, Connor's not cool with running second. He's going to try every line he can, try to make something else work, but man, running that ring out there in outer space, that's where you want to be, and that's what the 31's doing right now. Out of this world. 2 laps to go. Templeton, though, grabs the wall. Connor Ross has an opportunity to go for the slide job. He thought he had a chance. He got excited, but, man, the hole closed, and the 31 just got a good run. Final lap, white flag. Brandon Templeton trying to take home the win in the dirt track bank, number 31. Down the back chute for the final time. It'll be win at number 2 of the season. Connor tries to fight back. Templeton takes the win at Lernerville. Ross second, McLaren third, Morano fourth, Kinsey fifth, Steven Stewart, your biggest mover from last to 12th. Man, they were side by side for P5. Brandon Dittmer almost got it at the line. Templeton's going to put it up the ramp and onto victory lane. Now that was a great race tonight, though, that's for sure. As we pop up the results here, Templeton from 8th to the win, Ross from 6th to the win. You had McLaren, Morano, Kinsey, Dittmer, Vitale, Dixon, Henry, and Chatham. That was the top 10. Nice run from Jake Henry as well. Going from 11th through 20th. Steven Stewart up 10 positions, as I mentioned. Dean Reynolds went up 3. Bud Molyneux up 4. Logan Wentz only completed 2 laps in the feature here tonight. And so we did not see a lot from him this evening, that's for sure. So, all right, I think we are ready to begin the proceedings. Let me just double check everything. And yeah, we're good to go here. Just need the winner to pop in. He'll pop in just a moment. Going to talk with your third place finisher, though. And Dan McLaren. Dan, that is going to be rough, man. Was the high side just really tough for you to work? Were you a little concerned about running the high side, risking that you may go off track?
Yeah, but also the guys that, finished first and second, they're fast, man. Like it would have been hard to keep them behind for the last few laps. Once I realized they were coming on the top side, I'm like, well, I guess the bottom's not really working all that great. But yeah, just not, fully comfortable running the top, just the risk of going over the edge and losing it. But I got to apologize to Anthony. I came out of 2 and I kind of squeezed him up into the wall, so I just want to apologize for that. But yeah, no, it's a good race. Led some laps and came up with a podium.
Did you feel like if it wasn't for that final caution, because it looked like you had a good car in the long run, did you feel like if it weren't for that, you probably would have had the win?
Maybe. Like the line I was running felt pretty comfortable. I was doing the slider 1 and 2, 3 and 4, and just try to be smooth as possible. But once the regulars, man, once they get in their groove, it's hard to stop them. But no, it was a good race, and congrats to Brandon and Connor.
Who do you want to give shout-outs to on the run?
All the fellows over at Venom, you guys for these broadcasts, every night, every week. And Magnum Race Designs, Weldstar Custom Fabrications, VMR Wraps, and everyone for the league.
Alrighty, well, we'll let you go. Great run and best of luck in Rebels.
Thank you, sir.
So it's Dan McLaren that finishes in the 3rd spot. How about our 2nd place finisher? Let's talk to Connor Ross here. Zach, you got him.
Hey, Daddy's money, man. You got a copy?
Yes, I do.
Well, hey, dude. All in all, pretty good run. But I did want to ask you, I talked a little bit about it on the broadcast. So there, when you were in 3rd place for a while, before Brandon Templeton got by you on the high side, what did you learn when Brandon got by you? Because when you got up behind him, you were a whole nother car. I mean, you just figured something out once you got behind that 31.
I didn't feel like I gained anything. I was trying something new. Like in 3 and 4, you could almost diamond down and just drive down the corner. And I was getting a great run on Dittmer and McLaren like before that. And I didn't want to do it when we were all that close because it's kind of sketchy doing that near cars. And then once Templeton got by me, I think I also just had another car to follow. So I wasn't that fast up there. So I guess it did help me having a car to follow that's good up top. So okay, I think that's what really helped me get by McLaren and Dittmer there.
Well, I mean, the top of the track was starting to come in there, but Dittmer, he was doing such a good job of floating the car out of 4 and really making you uncomfortable. Were you having to lift the throttle there, and is that what was making you go over that bump going into turn 1?
Yeah, it was painful because you could get a great run off, but I knew he wasn't going to run the top, so I wanted to check up enough not to hit him. But I knew I couldn't drive down into turn 1 because I wouldn't beat him into 1. We would have just wrecked. So it was a tough spot for me. I had to really wait for a good time. I was trying to wait for him to make a mistake or just get a good enough run where I could drag race him down. But no, it was really hard to pass him. But I mean, that's the fun part about racing, man. It's not easy.
No, you're exactly right, man. But you made it look pretty easy tonight. That was a good P2, and I can tell you the whole Gambler team is proud of you for that one. So congratulations, man. You got anybody you want to thank on the podium?
Yeah, I got to thank everyone at Gambler Motorsports. I got to thank Burger Bar and Petro Plus, Travel Stop, Base One Construction, Kingpin Farms, Bender Custom Concrete. You guys for putting on the broadcast every Monday, coast to coast again for a great league. And I mean, I got to give it up to Anthony Morano for the heat race we had throwing sliders. That was a lot of fun.
Well, congratulations, kid. I hear you out there trying to practice, and if you need to set up, send me a message.
All right, sounds good.
So that's Connor Ross finishing in 2nd. Let's go to Victory Lane. Talk with your winner and Brandon Templeton. Man, making a pass in the final laps, that's got to feel good.
Yeah, that was a fun one, Marty. I didn't know if I was going to pull it off. I'm not really racing these open cars very often. I'm just throwing my own setup together, so I would have been happy with a top 5, but then the C's kind of cleared, and I was able to just hold that top side, and everybody was struggling for the low side. I don't know if they had grip down there, or if they had a lower gear or a higher gear, but they were all hugging the bottom, so I just took the open lane, and it worked out.
Did you feel like that final caution helped you out?
Yeah, a little bit. I mean, I was definitely coming even before that. I felt the momentum coming, and then I thought, well, I hope they didn't see me coming up high, and they stuck low and just kind of held my line, and that's what it took.
Alrighty, well, That's a heck of a win, though. That's for sure, man. So who do you want to give shout-outs to on this one?
Got to thank Jay with Dirt Track Bank and Malvern Bank. Everything they're doing for real racing and us and sim racing is awesome. Got your racing network, Mission 22, Friday Night Lights. Got to thank Extreme Images, Maley's Makery, Big C's Lawn Care, everybody in the family, everybody at the league, you guys for broadcasts, and everybody watching at home. Thanks.
Well, hey, Brandon, thank you for winning and making me look smart tonight. Like I knew something because I picked you to come from 8th to win that thing. So thank you.
Now, I get 50% of all winnings, right?
Yeah, whenever I start getting winnings, sure.
All right, B-Time, congratulations. Great win for you.
Thank you.
All righty, we'll step aside and go to break. When we come back, Rebels, and hopefully we have somebody that falls off tonight, dang it. Stay with us on the Coast to Coast Racing Network. It's time for another edition of RSN Trackside, powered by Bob Johnson Auto Group on Rock Sports Network. Kiss on the champion. Trying to be a bit of a
Hiatus, so let's get.
Right when we talked about it.
Well, good evening, everybody. Welcome to our weekly race chat.
Adam Ross and Clinton Jeffrey are live and interactive every Tuesday night. Your home for race discussion, debate, news, interviews, and more. They'll even take your questions and comments live on the air and talk to some of the newsmakers each week. Tune in every Tuesday night at 8 p.m. on GeForce TV.
We are back here at Lernerville Speedway. Beautiful sunset here. CC Dean Reynolds as we get set to go for our Rebels coverage. Brought to you by Malcolm's Mills Mill Writing. We'll turn on the cameras here once again and welcome you back into our booth. Marty Sakala alongside Brandon Dittmer and Zach Chapman. So we were supposed to have a bounty on the line here tonight, but it doesn't seem like we've got Ross Carino with us. The plan was going to be a $70 bounty. Carino would start in the back if there were at least 16 drivers with us. And the normal bounty rules apply if he finishes in the top 5, but doesn't win. The winner would take $70. If he wins, he gets $70. So we'll just have to see if he surprises everyone and comes on out before the heat races begin.
And even if Ross does show up, he will need one more miracle. He will need one more person to show up, as we do only have 14 as of right now.
Yes, absolutely. So, all right, let's get right into qualifying here. 2 minutes for all the drivers here as we get set again. 14 drivers with us, so 2 heats this evening. Give me one moment here. I don't know why that says Darlington. I'm going to update it for you all as soon as possible. I think we got to put it on local mode. That's probably why. Roger Craig out on track, working lap number 1 at the moment.
Damn it.
Yeah, that's the case. Uh-oh, Brandon, what'd I miss?
Me just sucking it up, that's about it. Oh, that was awful.
Tell you who didn't do awful. Gavin Chatham. Wow.
Yeah,
Quick lap.
Gavin Chatham, quick time at a 13:27. Followed by Steven Stewart, second. Talon Ulibarri, third. Here comes Jacob Brown across the line. The complete lap number 1. And Brown is 12th quickest. How about Dan McLaren, second quick? On lap number 1 at a 13:37. Across the line, this could be a better lap, and it's not. 13:85.
No, and Soupy's one of those guys. He told you he's a little uncomfortable in that small block open. He's pretty comfortable in this. I don't care what he tells us. He might try and lie to us. He knows how to rip the lip here in a sprint car. He's going to be fast.
So it's Roger Craig and Greg Parmalee that are your pole sitters here tonight. All right, so we are set to go for heat race number 1. And heat race number 1 is always brought to you by Flatline Racing Bodies. Here's the starting lineup. On the pole, the best man, Roger Craig of the 747. Next to him, Canada Connor Ross of the 35. Row 2, Steven Stewart, driver the 29, and Gavin Chatham in car 99. Row number 3, Gary Offbutt racing the 94, and it's Bryce Odell in the 62. Rounding out the grid tonight, it's Brian Lawson racing car number 9. Alrighty, what are we expecting here in this heat race?
Well, that's 747. He's got to put up a fight because Connor Ross being on the front row is almost a crime. He's going to be real quick tonight. So Roger's got to be on it on this start and set the pace right away.
As we get set to go, let us know who you're rooting for here in tonight's events. The view count just skyrocketed for some reason, but thanks all so much for joining us. Again, winner is on pole for tonight's feature.
Green, green, green.
Green flag is out. Here we go. So Ross immediately clears on Roger Craig and Gavin Chatham. Chatham looks for a run underneath for the 2 spot. He steps out from it for right now. Lap 1 by Connor Ross. He is blown away from this pack. Already a 3/4 of a second lead on Craig and Chatham here, guys.
Yeah, and Gavin tried to do the smart thing there, lift on the backstretch and give Roger some room, but he saw, like you said, how far ahead that 35 got Now it's time to go. He threw the slider on him, and he's got to go catch this 35.
Chatham again, quickest driver in qualifying, so he started from 4th in heat race number 1. Connor Ross, though, quickest guy last time by to 13:50. Stewart underneath for the 3rd position. Who's the quicker driver now? It's Ross by 2/10 on Gavin Chatham he just picked up.
Yeah, we're starting to see it become a top dominant track. We saw the guys throwing the slider line in qualifying.
Hang on, fast man. Him and Bryce Odell got together. That was tight, Brandon.
Yeah, luckily those two were able to keep it straight as Roger continues to go for a 4th place here. As here comes Offit up on the outside trying to come by Greg Roger.
Luckily, everybody makes the show here in tonight's feature. Still Ross hanging. Oh man, he got sideways off for 4. He had a moment with 2 to go, and because of that, Gavin Chetham's catching them. He cut down a ½ second there last time, guys.
Yeah, you don't want to give that 99 car any hope, because you see he's going to reel it in more. He sniff.
He is right there looking for the win. And to
He's gotta
start
run.
on pole, he's got a chance. Half a car length. Connor Ross gives Gavin Chow the bottom. Here they come out for 4. Connor gets it done. Gary off, but oh, we got it. We got it. Our first fall off hour of the night.
Finally put one on the board?
We finally did. I'm sorry, Gary, but Connor Ross, Gavin Chatham, Stephen Stewart, Roger Craig, Bryce Odell, Brian Lawson, and Gary Offut.
That's what I was going to say. We're sorry, Gary. We don't mean to celebrate it, but we haven't had one all night.
I just entered just a touch too high, and around he went.
So our fall off count is at 1.
We're starting going places now.
Yes, we are going places, that's for sure. All right, heat race number 2. Brought to you by Full Throttle Motorsports. Here's the starting lineup. Greg Parbley on pole position. The 4 next to him, it's Dean Reynolds in the number 79. Row number 2, it's Tally Ulibarri in car number 19. Next to him, it's Dan McLaren in the 88. Row number 3, the Spider Monkey, Brandon Dittmer in car 83. Jacob Brown next to him with a 723. Rounding out the grid for tonight, it's the 07 of the Ayla Outlaw, Preston Cranmer.
That 79 gets the same jump that 35 got. Man, Dino's going to be hard to run down if he's comfortable running the top.
Him and maybe even Dan McLaren. Hey, just remember as well, this is where Dino picked up his first ever win in the Rebels. Brandon, I think you were in the booth with me with, no, I think it was Solace, Dino, and I in the booth for that. Anyway, we are green for heat race number 2. Greg Parmley gets out to a good jump, tries to slide in front of Dean Reynolds, but him, the Venom 88 and Dan McLaren have a huge head of steam down the back chute. Still wing to wing for the race lead. Dino leads lap 1 up to 3rd. Dan McLaren past the 19 of Ulibarri. Both of them split the 4 of Greg Parmley. Ulibarri sideways, he has to catch it.
Yeah, Dan McLaren, though, making it stick on the entry into turn 3. Wow, what a run, and he's thinking about going for the lead.
Tries the slide job on Dean Reynolds. He leaves the 79 some room, but they nearly touch Hoosiers.
And just remember, they're teammates. Or friends, at least.
Hang on. Ulibarri sideways makes a great save. Never go for the lead, and now they touch. Hang on, Dino, what a save. The Spider Monkey threads the needle. He came at them like a Spider Monkey, and he's gone. McLaren,
yes, he did.
Sideways.
Yeah, McLaren went up over the edge, so add one more to that. Half of it went over. I count that. Come on.
No. Oh, hang on. Now we go one. Oh, my goodness. That was heavy.
Yeah, Dean woke up this morning and chose violence.
Yeah, that's for sure. 2 laps to go for Brandon Dimmer. We got more contact. Preston Cranmer and Ulibarri get together. But it's Dimmer that has an 0.8 of a second lead on Greg Parmley here, Zach.
Yeah, and if you're Brandon, you know, he can hear us. You just got to take it easy, man. Don't add to that fall count. You got this thing locked up. Experiment with the slider here and take her home into victory lane.
Here comes Dittmer off for turn number 4. He wins heat race number 2. Parmalee, Brown, Ulibarri, Cranmer, Reynolds, and McLaren. Zach, after video review, the call is overturned. Yours does count. We are at 3 on the fall-off count.
Yeah, it looked like he just went over that lip for a little bit and motored it back down. I wanted to count it.
So fall-off count is now at 3. We'll step aside and go to break. Stay with us on the Coast to Coast Racing Network. Back here at Lernerville Speedway, and as we get set to go for feature time, Brandon Dittmer currently the quickest at a 13:78. Zach, I don't know what this is, but I just feel like from what we saw in heats, I think this is set to be a wild feature.
Well, it is. You know, we've been sitting here laughing with Brandon. He got in the wall pretty hard coming out of 4. You know, he is the quickest car, but with that speed, sometimes you pay the ultimate price up there on the lip. We're going to see guys push the envelope a little too far and end up in the wall, but it's going to be exciting.
Brandon, how's your car feeling?
Oh, it's feeling great. Hopefully this thing keeps up, and if my previous trials and officials earlier this week resulted in anything, I know what I need to do towards the end to close this thing out if I'm up front. So.
All right, we'll see what happens. Let's meet the field and give you your RSN trackside starting lineup. On the pole, Canada Connor Ross, the 35. Next to him, it's the Spider Monkey, Brandon Dittmer in the 83. Row number 2, it's Gavin Chatham in car 99, and Greg Parmalee in the 4. Row number 3, Steven Stewart in the 29, and Jacob Brown in the 723. Row 4, the Bassman, Roger Craig in the 747, and Tally Ulibarri in the 19. Rounding out the top 10, Bryce Odell in the 62, and the Ayla Outlaw, Preston Cranmer in the 07. Row number 6, Brian Lawson in the 9, and Dean Reynolds in the 79. Finally, in row number 7, Gary Alpha in the 94, and Dan McLaren in the 88. All right, time for picks to win here. Zach, you get to go first.
I'm going to take the man on the pole. I'm going to take Connor Ross in this one.
All right, my pick to win. You know what? I'm feeling an upset. Give me Greg Parmalee in the 4. What about you, Brandon?
I'm gonna go with Gavin Chatham.
You're with Gavin for 3rd. All right. All right,
No
Brandon.
confidence in yourself?
No, that's bad luck to vote for myself.
That's why I didn't pick him.
That's like when you went to go pick, I was shaking my head like, don't do it, don't do it.
All right, BD, good luck.
Thank you.
All right, 1 lap to the green flag. Connor Ross, Brandon Dittmer make up the front row. 14 drivers ready to go racing. 30 laps around Lernerville Speedway. Fall off count at 3. Will we see any victims? Just like we saw in heat races, we had none in open 358s. Ready for the Lucy Olsen start here tonight. Ross Dittmer to bring us to green. It's time to get it on. Connor Ross gets away with a good start. Brandon Dittmer moves up to second position. Gavin Chatham drops down to third. Racing for fourth, it's Greg Parmalee and Steven Stewart. Left 1, led by Daddy's Money. Connor Ross clips the wall. 3 wide. Chatham slider for the top spot. Nearly goes over. The top 3 touch, but nearly take each other out, Zach.
Yeah, Connor tried to cut under and cross over that 99, but Brandon Dittmer was home. Nowhere for that 35 to go as Brandon Dittmer, he took the lead and he took it the hard way.
Here comes Steven Stewart looking for third. Ross peeks downstairs for the runner-up position. Let's see if he can take it away downstairs. Nearly touches with Chatham once again. Great start to this feature so far. It's Brandon Dittmer out in front. And Chatham now clears Connor Ross for second. Dittmer just had the quickest lap last time out of 14:09. Now Stewart tries to attack underneath for third. Jacob Brown, I believe, is blinking. Yes, that's the case. Trouble with Bryce Odell, who was off the track. He had one of the fall off count. We're at 4. Dan McLaren, oh my goodness, what a charge he is at. Hold the thought. Big wreck. Gary Offit and Brian Lawson off track. Yellow flag waves. Let's take a look and show you the situations with what we just saw. First off, Bryce Odell. Preston Kramer already was sideways. I think Odell just lost himself. Yeah, a little bit too high approaching turn 3. Now with Gary Offit and Brian Lawson.
You're about to see a wild ride.
Whoa, dang! What a wild ride they took.
Not
On
kidding,
board Brian.
Yeah, it seemed like Brian got a little loose and came down as Gary got loose and came up, and they met right there. Nowhere for him to go.
Offer looks like he just hit the bullseye. So that'll now put our fall off count at 6.
And, you know, that caution came at the perfect time for Bryce Odell, too, because he was about to go a lap down.
That's a great point you make as well, because he spun and it was under green flag conditions, too. So. All right, coming back to green here. Dittmer selects the high side for this restart. Watch out for Dan McLaren on the move. He restarts in 7th.
Green, green, green.
Dittmer holding serve, but Chatham with a slide job for the race lead. Dittmer counters.
Dittmer gets such a good run off of 2. He didn't even have to think about throwing a slider. Just parked it right back on that 99, and it's go time.
Nearly 3 wide for the race lead. Gavin Chatham to try once again with a mega slide job. And they got another counter back by the Spider Monkey.
Yeah, that one worked a little better, though, for the 99. He's going to get a run off 4. He might be able to take this thing away.
Dittmer caught the wall, though, once and twice. Here comes Connor for second. And that just helped Gavin Chatham clear. Connor not taking any risks at going for any slide jobs. Trouble Parmalee around in front of Preston Kramer, who I don't even think took any damage in that. We also saw Dean Reynolds go around. Let's take a look and see what happened with Dino. Had one to the fall off. And now let's show you not Preston Kramer, but Greg Parmalee, who just got sideways, and the Ayla Outlaw had nowhere to go.
Caution came at a good time for that man in the 83 machine, though. He gets a chance to catch his breath and think about how he can counter that 99 because he's got the speed. He's just, you know, been caught out in a bad line a time or two. Maybe went to the top a little early on the restart, but now he can learn from these mistakes and go right back at that 99. This thing's far from over.
Possibly. Butters Sr. is in chat. He is rooting for Brian Lawson. See what the 9 can do trying to rebound after that accident. Usually he may be out of the race. Yeah, he DNF'd. So I mentioned Dan McLaren's on the charge. He'll restart in position number 6.
Yeah, I think him and the 94 had to go into the infield care center after that one. They weren't coming back out.
Yeah. Checked in the ambulance for further evaluation and have been released. All right. Believe this is our final double file restart coming up. We're going to watch this from our aerial shot as Dittmer and Chatham will bring us back to the green flag. A third of this race has been complete. Real quick, look at the 5-lap average here as we come back to green. Best car right now, Gavin Chatham, and he's gone.
Yeah, and Gavin, excellent restart, so much so that he pulled the 35 around the 83, and that's exactly what he wants. He wants those two to battle for second.
Nice slider from Connor Ross in turn number 1 as he moves up to the 2nd position. Remember, top 5 pending IL, transfer to the Renegades, and look at Dan McLaren go up to 5th, and now he wants the 4th spot.
I told you, he tries to lie to us, tells us he's afraid of running that top here. I've seen him do it in a sprint car, man. He's willing to throw him out the side and just let him hang.
The high side right now is the only place to be unless you want to go low and throw a slider. Right now, nobody wants you to do that, but right now it's the top 3, all nose to tail, each separated by about a car length and a half. Chatham, Ross, and Dittmer. Best race on track. Dean Reynolds trying to rebound from that spin underneath Ulibarri for 6th.
Not going to get him here at the line coming out of 4, but is he going to think about a slider here in 1 and 2? He is. Going to throw it up in front of the 19.
Brandon! Around in turn number 2. And a race for the lead, Connor Ross underneath. This is in turn number 1. The slider pays off and out Chatham goes off track. What in the world has happened in these last 2 laps? So that
We're just seeing that cushion wear out, Marty. No help up there up top anymore.
That puts Chatham down to 4th, and look who's up to 3rd. Dan McLaren says, thank you very much, boys. I'll take it from here. Now we could have a chance at taking 2nd from Steven Stewart.
Yeah, Dan McLaren, he's got some speed in that thing. Fastest car on the track last time around other than Gavin Chatham. He just needs a caution to go up there and get to work on these guys.
Definitely needs that for sure. Fall off count now at 9. Lower exit from Steven Stewart allows McLaren to come in. Soupy peaks underneath for the runner-up position. Let's see if he can take a bite off for 2. Big run down the back, Zach.
Yeah, does such a great job of running that middle line down the backstretch. There's still a lot of tack there. He's able to hammer down, pull him by, and now he's got his sights set on the 35.
McLaren started in the last position. How is he right now compared to Connor Ross? Ross looks to be just a tad better at the moment. Here are the lap times amongst the last 5 laps. And right now it's back and forth at the moment here.
No, yeah, and that's a big deal. Brandon Dittmer was just able to race his way back around the 35 to stay on the lead lap. So if a caution comes out, Brandon Dittmer just got back on the lead lap. And,
that's important.
Yeah, and you know, this is a big deal for Connor. Brandon can't make this easy on Connor here. He wants to stay on the lead lap, and that's going to help Dan run him down. So this is exactly what Soupy needs.
Dittmer just went a lap down once again as the yellow sideways nearly went off track in turn number 2. 8 laps to go. Ross is fighting it on the bottom. Gap at 2.5 seconds. Battle for 3rd. Chatham trying to fight back on Steven Stewart. The 29 throws a slider attempts as Chatham trying to pinch him down. Nice defense for the 99 with 7 to go.
Yeah, he's just going to take away that slider line, going to carry momentum here off of 2, and he's gone. Now he's coming for that 88. This 99 is fast right now, Marty.
Yeah, McLaren has not pulled away ever since Chatham took away the second position. Could McLaren may have used his tires up a little too early. Here comes Chatham.
When you start in the back, you don't have time to save anything. He had to go from the drop of the hat. He's going to put up a fight here. He's not going to go down without a swing.
5 laps to go. McLaren hanging on. Chatham doesn't send it in deep. I think it's going to wait. Going to be patient for right now. 4 to go for Connor Ross. The lead down to 1.9 seconds at the moment. Chatham with a big run, but they are racing Hoosier to Hoosier for second is just allowing Canada Connor to pull away.
Well, you'd think that, Marty, but Connor is really babying the car down on the bottom right now. He's running 15-second laps. Second and third were still faster than him last time by. Connor may be going too slow.
Could he be saving fuel possibly?
He may have been worried, yeah, that he didn't put enough gas in, but he is definitely taking it real easy right now.
1.8 seconds. Caution, it's out for Dittmer. Oh, boy. Show you what happened to the Spider Monkey, but this just changed everything. That is not a yellow you wanted to see. If you're Dan McLaren, Dittmer just gets too low, tried to throw it in like he did in the 358s, and around he went.
He got lucky, though. The flagman wasn't messing around tonight, Marty. They threw that flag before he went a lap down, so he's still on the lead lap. That will actually benefit Brandon a little bit here. He can go to work, try to get some spots back.
Not a yellow you wanted for sure if you are Connor Ross. 1.8 second lead has been evaporating. Now, I don't know if you actually lose fuel under yellow flag. I've been told various points of view that you don't under caution. Sometimes you use a little bit of fuel, even with the babiest of throttles. I don't know. Is this the yellow you want if you're McLaren and Chatham?
If you're Gavin, this is exactly what you wanted because you are quick right now. And we saw it earlier. Connor gave him a chance in that heat, made one mistake. And once that 39 gets a little bit of blood in the water, that 99, he goes. And Connor's bleeding out front. He's going slow right now, and they're gonna go. They're sharks back there.
The best driver on track right now is the man in 5th. That's Dean Reynolds. A little something to keep in mind if we get a second attempt at overtime. Single file restart. Connor Ross, Dan McLaren, Gavin Chatham of the field. How is this one going to be done? Ross gets a freebie lap with a great restart, catches Dan McLaren sleeping.
That was a great restart. 99's going to throw the slider here on the 88. 88 went over, and Suki went over.
That's going to end his chances at a podium. Steven Stewart up to 3rd. That may have just ended his chances at hard charger. White flag is out, 1 to go for Connor Ross. One more chance for Gavin Chatham. He's been liking the slow line. Down the back chute for the final time. Everybody's going crazy behind the leaders, but it's the Gambler 35. Connor Ross gets it done. Chatham 2nd, Stewart 3rd, Reynolds 4th. Your hard charger up 8 spots. Ulibarri 5th.
You said it. That's 79. He was one of the quickest cars there at the end, and coulda, woulda, shoulda, but one more lap, and I think he's standing on the bottom step of that podium.
So we got a lot to unpack here. We saw Dan McLaren go off course. I don't know if we saw Dittmer go off course. He caught the wall and then went off course. And then I think he did it again. Don't quote me on that, though. Nope, never mind. Then we had Preston Cranmer get into it with Dan McLaren. Nope, it was Cranmer touching with Jacob Brown, and McLaren goes upside down. So added 2 to the fall off count, and right now approaching Renegades, we are at 11. So that kind of made up for what we saw back in 358s.
Yeah, if we get some hard racing in the Renegades here, Marty, you're right on par with a good number, I think.
Here are the results from tonight. Hey, Zach, you predicted Dino for hard charge of the Open 358s. He came close. He did in the Rebels at least. So, again, top 5 drivers eligible to run in Renegades pending IL. And there you see how everybody finishes here tonight. And let's begin.
Speaking of that, though, Marty, I'm 2 for 2 on picks now, though, so you want my pick in the next race if you're listening.
That is true. Hey, wasn't I perfect on Thursday?
Yeah, you were. So it's my turn now.
Yeah, it's your turn now. So, all right, let's begin with our third place finisher and Steven Stewart. Zach, we'll let you take this one.
Hey, Steven, Shaggy up in the booth, man. You got a copy?
Yes, I do. What's going on, boys?
Well, man, wow, what a hectic green-white checkered that was. You know, you got to capitalize. You started 4th, ended up getting to that bottom step of the podium. Talk to us a little about those final 2 laps.
To be honest with you, oh, hold on, my headset's gonna die. Let me plug that in real quick. Give me 2 seconds. Sorry.
Couldn't you do that while you're racing? He did. He mic'd up. He goes, "I'm trying to put my headset in. I'm having a cookie. I'm watching High Limit, and I'm trying to race."
There we go. Sorry, it went dead in the middle of the race too.
Now, Dean, if that goes dead in the middle of a race, you've got a chance for 3rd. Just saying.
Yeah, it was close. But no, I honestly, when I found out Ross wasn't running tonight, I just told them all I was worried about was beating Brandon for points. No offense, Brandon. And then, God, it happened. You went over, and I was just, at that point, I was telling Gavin and Connor, I just worried about staying in the bottom or middle. I just wanted to get a point tonight. So, but it was a fun race.
Yeah, you know, you said it. There was a lot of excitement. It was a lot of fun for us up here. You know, stuff going on all over. But you were able to stay consistent tonight, Steven. Kept it on the track, man, and brought it home in 3rd place. You got anybody you want to thank on the podium?
Yes, sir. As always, Taylor Wineland with 25 Enterprise and Dylan Heiser with House of Speed. Without those two, the car wouldn't be competitive at all. The boys that I run with in Discord every night, Jake Brown, Talon, Kyle Fahey, Sean, all them boys. And just family. You guys for the broadcast, Coast to Coast for putting on the race, and Connor and Gavin for being great competition tonight.
Well, hey, heck of a job tonight, Steven. You're always a class act, man, and we love having you around here. So hopefully I get to talk to you again next week, my man.
I appreciate it, guys. Take it easy.
So Steven Stewart finishing in 3rd. Let's go to Gavin Chatham, our 2nd place finisher. Gavin, if that final nope, we got him now. All right. Gavin, if that final caution does not come out, do you think you got a chance at Connor Ross?
No, we were too far back. I needed that caution to catch up to him. I felt like the caution gave me a shot at Connor. And congrats to him. Nice job on the win. He ran a smooth race. Obviously very disappointing. I felt like we had the fastest car, and I just made a little mistakes. That's on the driver. Going down the front stretch there, I kind of got in the wall a little bit, and I was like, okay, and I kind of backed off a little bit, let Connor have it, and we'll get back to racing. There's a lot of time left, and I don't know what happened. I guess the right rear cut off the top there a little bit, and I was just talking to Connor about that. It's so weird here where it's like you feel like the right rear's off and you're on, but then you feel like the right rear's on and you're off. So yeah, I don't know. It is what it is. It's just disappointing in my hometown track. I'd love to always win at Lernerville, but stout car tonight felt really good. We were smooth and fast all night long, and I was probably about a lap away from switching my line there, and just wasn't meant to be in the cards tonight, but definitely a solid 2nd place run.
I was going to say, great save, Gavin, because when you came back on the track in the back straightaway, I had a real good look at it. Good save.
No, thanks. That's what I got off, and I just let it off and saved it, and I figured, I know I had a fast car. Instead of trying to go to the back, just or causing a caution or spinning completely out, just saved it, hop back on the racetrack, and get back to racing there. And definitely found something in the middle there at the end, especially in 3 and 4. And I had a heck of a battle with Dan there, and a nice race to him and Steven as well. Nice job, everybody. But me and Dan had a great race going there for 2nd before that caution came out. And I don't know what happened to him at the end. I'm guessing he went off, because I said to myself, I only had one shot at winning this, so I tried to stick it on the bottom, and the bottom just wasn't quite there yet, but enough. I got by him, but then he wasn't there coming off of 2, so I'm not sure what happened to him, but shout out to him because we had a good battle going there for 2nd.
Who do you want to give shout-outs to on the run, Gavin?
I just want to thank you guys for doing an awesome broadcast. Coast to Coast Racing, all the admins, all the sponsors, everybody behind this league that puts the show on for us to come out here and race. And I want to thank Chatham Motorsports, Mike Schick Motorsports Design, Velocity Race Design, Miller Time Motorsports, and Northeast Outlaw Motorsports. Thank you, all sponsors. I just want to thank the fans for coming out, watching, supporting this league, and I hope we put on a good show for y'all tonight. And I just want to thank my fans as well for coming out and watching.
All right, we'll let you go. Great job tonight, and best luck in Renegades.
All right, thanks, guys.
Good run, Jim.
So Gavin Chatham finishing second. To victory lane we go to talk with your winner, Connor Ross. X got him.
Well, Daddy's money, man. Started P1, finished P1. How you feeling?
I finally feels good to get the monkey off the back this season. I feel like I could have ran a lot better this year, and just haven't really put a full race night together, and finally we're able to do it.
Yeah, when you fell back to third place there a little bit, you got behind Brandon and I believe Gavin there. Did you think it was curtains, or did you think you stood a chance to get back by him?
No, I definitely thought I could get back by him. This is one track I'm really confident in, and I knew that I don't like leading, as weird as it is to sound, but you just don't know what line is going to come up next, and if you're second or third, you're able to try that because you got to get going. So they got by me, and I was luckily able to save enough tire and wait till the end. Just rode, and they finally kind of blew it off the top, and that's where I just rode through the middle throughout the end of the race.
Yeah, that's okay. So that kind of led into my question. Maybe you were saving tire. That might be the answer. But before that caution came out, I'm not sure if you're paying attention to the relative or not. But kid, they were chewing you up. You were running down in the middle. You were way off the pace. Were you doing that just to save some tire in case a caution came out?
Not even saving tire. I just wanted to go down there just so I didn't blow it off the top. I'm confident enough up there, but it's iRacing and some things are weird. So I just wanted to play it safe, and I knew that I was going to move up a lap or two anyways up to the top because I seen they were coming, and that caution came out, which, it worked out in the end.
Yeah, no kidding. Worked out in the end. You're standing on the top step of the podium, kid. Congratulations. That's 2 for 2 so far tonight on the podium.
3 for 3. He won the matinee, Zach.
Oh, 3 for 3. All right.
3 for 3. It's the Connor Ross day.
And in the team Discord chat, we used to get photos of, him winning afternoon races, but since he's grown up, that's slowed down a little bit.
We're going to have to sing the Canadian National Anthem in the celebratory day here for Connor, because, since Toronto Maple Leafs can't do anything, he might as well be for Connor Ross.
Oh, dang! Dang!
Yeah. Isaac Salas and I were going back and forth on the Facebook comments section a few times. It's fun and all games, but it sucks being a Bills fan and a Leafs fan, because let me tell you.
It does suck being a Bills fan. I wonder what it's like
being a what's good about the Bills, Marty?
What?
Since they lost the 4 Super Bowls in a row, no one thinks of my Vikings for losing the 4 Super Bowls.
That is true.
Just saying.
That is true.
Yep. So. Continue.
Well, Connor, go ahead and give us that rundown real quick, man. Who you got to thank?
Oh, I got to thank Dean for the last one for the podium. He helped me out with gearing. I got to thank you for giving me the setup here tonight. I got to thank Burger Barn Petro plus H1 Construction.
Burger Barn.
It's pretty good, eh? I got to thank Gambler. I got to thank Bender Custom Concrete. Got to thank you guys for doing the broadcast again and coast to coast.
I got one important question for Connor. Do you enjoy the breakfast at the Burger Barn, or do you enjoy the burgers the most?
Doesn't matter as long as I get full, and usually I do there because it is good. So if you go down to Oshaweekend Speedway, check out for it on 4th Line Burger Barn. You'll it's pretty cheap too, and it's amazing.
Yeah, and when we go up with our American money, we're millionaires up there. So
yeah, well, you can buy me a right rear on the sprint car, and I'll be happy.
Well, good luck here in this next one, Connor. You going to give the A a shot?
No, of course. Why not?
All right, man. I expect another podium.
I have one thing to say. Where is Ross Corinta? That's my main question right now.
He's not here. I wish we could give you the $70 right now, but we can't.
I'm thinking him and Devo are probably together in the same hotel room, just playing Monopoly or something. Because I know Devo's not here either.
This is brutal, but no, thank you again tonight, guys.
Awesome, Connor. Great job.
Thank you.
All right, so Connor Ross gets it done. We're going to step aside and go to break. When we come back, the Renegades of the Coast to Coast Racing Network. It's time for another edition of RSN Trackside, powered by Bob Johnson Auto Group on Rock Sports Network. Kiss on the champion. Trying to be a
Bit of a hiatus, so let's get.
Tonight we'll be talking about it.
Well, good evening, everybody. Welcome to our weekly race chat.
Adam Ross and Clinton Jeffrey are live and interactive every Tuesday night. Rivals Race Chat is your home for race discussion, debate, news, interviews, and more. They'll even take your questions and comments live on the air and talk to some of the newsmakers each week. Tune in every Tuesday night at 8 p.m. on GeForce TV.
We are back here at Lernerville Speedway where we get set to go for Renegades action, which is brought to you by Dylan Westbrook Racing. We'll welcome you back into the broadcast booth. Bryce Callow alongside Brandon Dittmer and Zach Chapman and Dean Reynolds joining us this time for Renegades. Dean, I got to ask you, since I asked these two guys earlier, what is your prediction for the fall-off count? We're at 11 right now. What do you think the final tally is going to be?
Ooh, 11, and we're at Renegades. Let's add. So it was 11 in Rebels. Oh, that's sad with us 14 cars. Of course, I contributed 2 of that, so I shouldn't talk. Let's go lucky number 7.
Lucky number 7?
In Renegades, so it'll be 18 total.
You got 18 tonight. All right, I'll tell you what we all had. I had 26. Zach had 30. Dittmer had 38.
Well, I had an advantage because I know what happened. Yes, yep. Yep.
Yeah, I'm for the quality of this race tonight, I hope to God my prediction doesn't come true.
What if one of us was perfect? I think that's happened in the past. I can't remember. Dean, you may know. Was Isaac perfect one night?
Wouldn't surprise
me. One of us were.
It was either Isaac or maybe Brandon. I can't remember.
Now, I have a question since we're talking about this Carenta gate. Is he not here because he had to do the back row challenge? Come on, Ross. I know you're listening.
No, so I don't think he would mind us talking about it. He messaged Marty and I during the weekend. He's trying to actually get his kid into go-kart racing. I think.
Nice.
Checking out a go-kart tonight for his little kid. So definitely some things more important than the iRacing.
Absolutely. No, that's
I don't
cool.
know. I think you could use those $70 extra.
Probably.
Yeah. That could have bought some tire dope for the go-kart because it's legal in go-karts.
All right, first drivers out on track here for qualifying. We'll watch Brandon Templeton in the number 31. Of course, the drivers get a full warm-up lap here before they take the green. So B-Temp will set the bar on lap 1, 13.190, and now all the other times will start to come on in. Let's watch Connor Ross here as his first lap goes quick time, 13.051 for Canada Connor. Spangler up to third on lap number 1. Here comes Ross off of the corner. Way too high, but still on the pole for right now. Let's go to Patrick Spangler. He just finished his laps. Same with Jeff Barker. Jack Hitt working on lap number 2. 13.28 on lap number 1 for the gentleman. Nice lap for Blake Chapman up to second quick, 13.083. I believe this is Blake's final lap he is working on off the corner. This one's slower, 13.265.
I'm going to miss the invert because I'm right on it right now.
Brad Waite, 6th quick, 13.27.
Yep.
Jesse Bandy has got some time left here. He's 8th quick at a 13.30. At the line, better lap for Bandy, 4th quick, 13.22. This will be 3 heats tonight. And so with the inverts, it will be Bob DeGood. That starts on pole for heat race number 1. And with that being said, we'll take a look at your starting lineup. Heat 1 brought to you by Flatline Racing Bodies. On the pole, Bob DeGood in the 7 next to Brad Waite in the 814. Row number 2, Jesse Bandy in the 49 and Canada Connor Ross in the 35. Row number 3, the captain, Gary Taylor in the 34. And the Money King, Kyle Moonen in the 24. Alrighty, boys, so who are we watching out for in heat race number 1? I got to go with Bandy.
Yeah, I'm going to keep my eye on that 35. He's double podium tonight. He's trying to carry that momentum, and I mean, to qualify on the pole in a Renegades race, that's a feat in itself. He's got some speed in that 35 tonight.
I'm going to keep my eye out for Moonen coming from that last place spot.
I am going to shock you all. I am going to go Bob DeGood, and the reason why is he was leading the matinee and gone over me and Connor until about lap 27 when the track slicked off a little bit. But I mean, he was gone. So the track's got some bite, and Bob's really good with bite. If he can pull ahead of Brad coming out of turn 2, he's going to win this. And take one for the retread, guys.
Yeah, and starting on the front row for the feature would be huge for that 7 if he could pull that off.
He has a good setup when this track it's got some bite, and I watched him in that matinee. And then we had to push him to victory lane because he ran out of fuel in the cooldown lap.
Well, we will see what happens here. Winner is on pole for tonight's feature. I think we're going to go an extra lap here before we take the green flag. A reminder as well, 35 lap feature here tonight. While we are at it, here's a look at your schedule for the rest of the week here on the Coast to Coast Racing Network. Wednesday night, yep, we'll have the Hometown Heroes at Kokomo, as well as trucks at Charlotte. That will begin at 7 p.m. by OSRN. Thursday night Thunder at Lincoln Speedway with small blocks, big blocks, Pro Late Models, and Xfinity Series. Shaggy will have the broadcast for the small and the big blocks, while Travis has late models and Xfinity. Next Monday on Monday Night Madness, we stay in Pennsylvania, and we go to the Port Royal. Here we go for Heat 1, we're green. Brad Waite, advantage on the high side. Same with Connor Ross. The 8:14 to the point early here. Canada Connor looks for second. A smooth 3 and 4. Not about trying the needle. It's Brad Waite, though, that leads lap 1.
Yeah, he thought about making it 3 wide there, but he thought Besseman backed out and good for him. Moved up to P2, but Bob is struggling down there in the middle. He's got to try to find a way to get up to the high side.
Bandy around the outside, up to third. Kyle Mooner was looking for fourth for just a moment. Everyone transfers, though, into the show. No B main here tonight. Brad Waite, though, the quickest driver on track, Dino.
Yeah, Brad's very smooth. He's got such a smooth style. He actually reminds me of Carrenta's style. You know, they both really smooth. Keeps the car straight, and then that's what he's doing right here. Him and Connor are putting on a great race.
Yes, they are. Connor had a slide job attempt last time. We'll go for it again. Slide job, daddy's money. Still out in front for right now. Waite counters it back here, Brandon. We've got 3 to go in our first heat race of the night. There's a pole position on the line, Brandon.
Yeah, haymaker after haymaker. You absolutely love to see it out front. And here comes Jesse Bandy. He's going to stick his nose in there with 2 to go. Hopefully he can catch up to him.
He could be a factor into things. They were dead on at the start-finish line. Another slider from Waite. Puts it out in front. Ross with an opportunity in turns number 3 and 4. Could he have the advantage? Coming to the checkered flag. We'll see what happens. It's half a car length into turn 1. Waite sends it in. He's got Connor Ross cleared. Connor counters it back. Advantage for Daddy's money to 3 and 4, who sends it deep. Waite underneath. Ross wins heat 1 and is on pole. Phenomenal heat.
Heat 1 winner twice in a row. He's going to start on the feature or start on the pole in the feature.
Having a good day, I'll tell you.
Let's go to heat race number 2. This heat race brought to you by Full Throttle Motorsports. Here's a look at the starting lineup. On the pole, Barry Gollner in car number 36. Next to him, Gentleman Jack Hitt in the 217. Row number 2, your top 2 in the championship. The high side banger, Patrick Spangler in the 39. And the salesman, Blake Chapman in the 20. Row number 3, the Pink Panther, Jesse Exton, the 127. And Superman, Kurt Schatzer in the 218.
Man, that's a stacked heat.
Yes, this is.
Barry Goldner, don't look behind you.
Just keep your eyes out in front. If you can believe, you can achieve.
And you got Superman starting 6th. This is a stacked heat.
Yeah, both the names in the non-transfer spots have no business being in the non-transfer spots.
Yeah, nothing against
right
Jesse.
now.
You're right. Absolutely right.
Winner starts next to Connor Ross on the front row. You look back at row 2, Spangler and Chapman. Spangler sent me the points with drops and renegades before we got things going. Right now, it would be Chapman by 47 at the moment. Set to take the green here.
Green, green, green.
Gollner leads the field for right now. Here comes Jack Hitt looking around the outside. Could have a chance of the race lead. Chapman wants third from Patrick Spangler. Everyone's still 2 by 2. Look at Jack Hitt with the crisscross for the race lead. Gollner led the opening lap, but Gentleman with a slider. Patrick Spangler slideways at turn number 1.
Yeah, they were 3 wide for P2, and Patrick almost lost it down on the bottom. He gave up all those spots, and now Superman's on the outside taking P4.
Jesse Atkinson nearly went off track. Barry Gollner sideways drops down to the 5th position. Blake Jack Hitt, you got company from the salesman. He wants to give you a discount.
Yeah, he knows he's got to go because that 39's going to waste no time reeling them in if they start throwing sliders.
Blake's got a good chance in the lead here, Brandon.
Sorry, I was thinking.
He's probably watching the car that was flipping at the high limit race.
Probably, but Blake Chapman's able to clear Jack Hitt. The Gentleman trying to throw a slider back. He stays on the bottom. Here comes Spangler for second, Dean. 3 to go.
Yeah, as Patrick is, he's up in his, where he feels comfortable up top, but I don't know if he's going to get Blake, because I don't think Blake's going to make that mistake for him to get him, but he's giving it a whirl.
It's going to take a slider for Spangler if he wants to get it done. Barry Goldner, I think, may have gone off track a couple moments ago. We'll have to check on that in just a bit. We're coming to the white flag. 1 lap to go in the heat. Spangler looks underneath. They get it to work with a slide job. They stay wheel to wheel. Chapman able to clear. Does he defend on Patrick Spangler? Yes, he does. Spangler sideways. Chapman wins.
Good race.
Spangler, Head, Schatzer, Atkinson, Goldner. Think about this lineup we're going to have for heat race number 3. I spoke too soon on that, actually. I was thinking it was going to be an all Vanderbilt heat. But anyway, here's how they look for Heat 3, brought to you by Glenridge Motorsports Park. The Desert Demon, Terry Landis on pole position. Next to him, it's Dino, Dean Reynolds in the 79. Row number 2, the Bird to Beast, Jeff Barker, the 513. Next to B-Temp, Brandon Templeton, the 31. Rounding out the grid tonight on row number 3, Gavin Chatham in car 99. All righty, Dino, good luck to you in this heat, man.
Thank you, sir.
And Dino's in a good spot. He's had the benefit of watching 2 heat races. He sees how effective the high side is. If he can go in there and maybe pinch Terry Landis down there in 1 and 2, not let him complete that slider, Dean can run away with this thing.
Pace trucks in. We're going green this time by for our final heat race of the night. Here we go. Landis trying to hold serve, but as Dino 2 is outside. Top 4 all side by side for the race lead. Landis leads the opening circuit, Brandon.
Yeah, he's going to try to fight hard down there on the bottom. He's doing a great job of it now, but Dean Reynolds just has a little bit much more momentum on that outside coming out of the corners.
And Landis, I gotta tell you, he's fighting back really well on that inside, but here comes Jeff Barker. Ooh. Oh, they touched! Hang on, Dino!
Oh no, Dino!
The good save by Dean, though, to keep it roll. Oh, they got into Brandon a little bit, but he's still rolling.
Here comes Jeff Barker for the race lead. This looks like a retreads battle at the moment here, Brandon.
Yeah, they're going at it. Barker all the way down on the bottom side. Can he hold it? He cannot.
Oh! You saw that there for third, Zach? Templeton gave Chatham a little bit of a bump. But look at these 2 guys going at it still.
And Dino just went over, add to the count.
Oh, Landis catches the wall. Barker able to clear, 3 to go.
Now Gavin Chatham all of a sudden, here he comes, taking over P2 on the outside, going into 3.
Does he have enough time, though, to catch Jeff Barker to steal the heat win? Remember, he started last in this heat race.
He's got to get the fishing rod out.
Trying to reel in Jeff Barker, hopes that he runs out of fuel. Final lap underway in heat race number 3. How about the Birds and Beasts, Jeff Barker through 3 and 4. This is first heat win in a while. Barker wins, Chatham 2nd, Landis 3rd, Templeton 4th, and Dino 5th. Let's step aside and go to break. Stay with us, the Coast to Coast Racing Network. Warm-ups continuing. At the moment, Jesse Bandy, your quickest driver, currently working a 13.672 at the moment.
Yeah, you know, Dean Reynolds talked about him. I'm not sure if you brought him up, Marty, but look who's P3, Bob DeGood.
Yeah, it was a good. He put up a really solid lap at a 13.76 that last time by. 15 seconds away from the checkers. Let's see who's checking in here tonight. Patrick says that Jesse Atkinson unloaded a 3:05 sprint. Hey, that's approved by me. Heck, Jesse, if you want purchase a 3:05 sprint, come join my tour. So, alrighty. Let's go race it here for 35 laps. Thanks for joining us on your Monday night. Let's meet the field and give you the RSN Trackside starting lineup. On the pole, Canada Connor Ross, the 35. Next to him, the salesman, Blake Chapman in the 20. Row number 2, the Brewer to Beast, Jeff Barker in the 513, and Brad Waite in the 814. Row 3, the high side banger, Patrick Spangler in the 39, and Gavin Chatham in the 99. Row number 4, the Bandyboat Master, Jesse Bandy in the 49, and Gentleman Jack Hitt in the 217. Rounding out the top 10, the Desert Demon, Terry Landis, the 161, and Bobby Good in the 7. Row 6, the 218 of Superman, Kurt Schatzer, and the 31 of B-Temp, Brandon Templeton. Row 7, the Money King, Kyle Moon in the 24, and the 127 of the Pink Panther, Jesse Atkinson. Row 8 is Dino, Dean Reynolds in the 79, and the 34 of the Captain Gary Taylor. Rounding out the grid tonight, we've got Barry Goldner in the 36. Time for picks on who's going to win this one. I am going to go with the salesman, Blake Chapman, in the 20 to get it done tonight. Brandon.
Oh, you dog.
Give me my teammate, Patrick Spangler.
All right.
Oh, you guys. Man. Oh, I don't want to jinx Connor, but I don't think Jesse Bandy, man, it's going to be a tough hill for him to climb. A lot of guys for him to pass. I've got to go with Connor Ross in the 35.
I had a feeling you'd go with Connor.
He truly wasn't my first choice. You guys took my picks in order.
All right, the fall off count is 12. What will we set it at the end of the night tonight? White's out, 1 to green, 17 cages of cold metal with hot rubber at the corners, set to do battle for 17 laps. Who is it going to be? How is it going to be done? There is always a favorite. Pick it ASAP, though, because we are about to do battle. It's time to wing it and bring it, because where else would you rather be than right here, right now, set for the Lucy Olsen start. Connor Ross, Blake Chapman in the front row. It's time to get it on. Ross immediately with a slide up off of turn number 2 to take the race lead. Blake Chapman second, Jeff Barker third. Chapman looks downstairs, hits the berm where the lawn is, as Connor leads lap number 1 here, Brandon.
Yeah, and Connor's going way up top and almost goes way right over. As Blake Chapman throws it in underneath, he's going to throw it way down low. He's going to clear him off 1, 2, or 4 and have a lead.
Look who in P3, the 513 making a move for second here.
How about Jeff Barker looking for an opportunity to get the second spot? Not able to do it though that time as he tries to either get bite or maybe save tires early. Both Chapman and Barker wrecking off quick laps, and now it's Spangler up in 4th at the 13.97. Our first 13-second lap of this feature so far. He catches Jeff Barker for third, trying to look high, wide, and handsome. Doesn't work though. Chapman still leading. Here comes Barker for the runner-up spot. Connor going after the lead again.
Barker and Blake are putting up a heck of a fight down there in the middle bottom. I had no idea that was there, but here comes the high side, and Patrick Spangler's showing us.
Connor takes the race lead back once again. Top 4 all under a blanket down the back, but who expected the Brewerton Peace to fight with some tough dogs for sure? Connor leads lap number 6. Oh, and he goes off track and around! Oh. Blake to the lead, Spangler second. Jeff Barker in third. Fall off count now at 13.
Connor able to get it back on the track.
Go ahead.
Able to stay on the lead lap, but man, that's gonna put a damper on his win chances tonight here, boys.
What were you gonna say, by the way, Brandon?
I said now he knows how I feel from last week.
Spangler now takes the lead for the first time tonight on lap number 9. Working the high side to his advantage. Both of them have pulled away on Jeff Barker by about a second. I wonder if Barker had to let off the throttle to avoid maybe hitting Connor Ross, possibly, guys.
Yeah, Connor went off pretty abruptly. It probably took him for a little bit of a scare, you know. Blake right now, well, we're seeing Patrick run the middle now in 3 and 4. He's going to go away from the top. I wonder if Blake's saving tire or if he really likes the bottom of the racetrack right now.
I think that is what he's trying to do. Right now, your biggest mover started 13th. He is up to 6th. That's Kyle Moden in the number 24. Just past Brad Waite for the 6th position. Now trying to go after Gentleman Jack Hitt.
Fastest guy on the track last time by, 5:13 at Jeff Barker. He's reeling them in, boys.
Here's a look at the 5-lap average. Got Spangler, though, the quickest car on track, but now this time Barker starting to reel in Blake Chapman for the 2nd position. Let's see what he can do, looking for 2nd on the points leader.
You know he's like a dog. He's salivating here. He wants this one. He's got to go take the bone.
He wants that gold bone. Trouble for Jesse Atkinson. He's off track. Fall off count now at number 14. Oh, Atkinson may merge up, but this could cause a yellow. No, he stays off course for now as he goes a lap down.
Yeah, tough break for him. No lucky dogs here in the dirt, so he's going to have to get it back for the hard way, and he's got a long way to go. And 3 of the fastest drivers on the sim to get by.
Our fall off count now at 14. Let's look at some other good racing on track. How about this one? Kurt Schatzer, Dean Reynolds, Gavin Chatham all racing for 9th. Oh my goodness, what a slide job. Schatzer goes around. Dino collected. Oh man, that was a slider that just did not work.
Tried to get the 2-for-1 discount and just not enough for him.
He tried to find the blue light. Unfortunately, it turns yellow. Bad slider up into Kurt Schatzer. Does not count as a fall off because one wheel did stay on the track. Let's go on board with Superman. Chatham went for it. Schatzer pays the price, and now I believe as well at the same time, Chatham will restart behind Reynolds because he did not get the position over Reynolds under the green flag.
Yeah, and he's got to hope that car still handles the same. Pretty big hit in the middle of the corner, and then as he was trying to save it, Dean was there. He had nowhere to go. He had to go in the middle, and they got together. So he's definitely got some damage on that 99.
So our first restart coming up here. Spangler selecting the bottom. We haven't seen anyone really select the bottom yet tonight, Brandon, for these restarts.
Yeah, the bottom side is not really where you honestly really want to be. Getting that top side rolling in 1 and 2 is going to be about perfect. As you can get that slider line. I mean, if you do something on the inside, you get that slider line up as Gavin Chatham threw a haymaker on me when I chose the outside, but live and learn.
Well, let's watch this restart from our aerial shot. Spangler and Chapman, row 1. Barker, Bandy, row 2. Hitt, Moonen, row 3. Templeton, Wait, row 4. Reynolds, Chatham, the top 10. Spangler fires, we're back to green. Caught both Chapman and Barker sleeping. Advantage, Jesse Bandy up to P3. 4 wide in turn 2.
4 wide in turn 2 and live to fight another day. Wow.
Bandy up to 3rd spot. Oh, look out. Oh, boy. Chatham and Wade, I think, got together. Everybody hanging on for dear life. We stay green.
Jeff Barker, you said it. He got caught sleeping on that restart, but he just passed for 3rd place out of driving ability by Jesse Bandy. He is making that car go.
And he's fighting a pair of Vanderbilt Masters for the bottom step of the podium. But Bandy keeps 3rd. with 15 laps to go in this feature. Now Bandy tried to shut the door on Barker. Here comes Moonen trying to ride around the outside. Oh no, Dino off track. Fall off count at 15. Now Barker down to 5th. Moonen trying to get a run for 3rd on his car owner, but Moonen had the door shut right in his face. Big run to go up to 3rd. What a run by the Money King there that time, boys.
Yeah, Bandy didn't have time to shut the door there now, and they're side by side going on the backstretch into 3, and Moonen's going to get another big run out of 4. He's going to take it at the line.
So Moonen is able to clear Jesse Bandy for 3rd. He started 13th, and he's up to 3rd. Clearly your biggest mover in this feature so far. Here comes Jack Hitt looking for 4th. Forces it 3 wide underneath. Nearly goes 2 for 1. This is some wild racing right now at the moment, Brandon, for 4th position, but that top 3 is pulling away.
Yeah, top 3 just, or if they had rear mirrors, they'd be loving what they're seeing back there as they're all just fighting away. This battle for 4th is very impressive as they're all staying very clean and very conservative at the same time. And hopefully Hitt's just trying anything and everything as of right now.
Absolutely. Barker just trying to play defense as he switched up to that outside. Nearly contact from Jesse Bandy with 9 to go.
One more went off.
That's Bobby Good, and the yellow flag comes out.
Here's where it gets interesting. Blake Chapman, he's been running the bottom the whole time. He's got to have a lot of regular tires.
Yeah, that's going to be a key thing here on this restart. Here's what happened to the Good. Off the track, just barely. Something else to show you here with Jesse Atkinson. Just pulled it off track. I think he was trying to pull her onto pit road. However, though, that does count as a fall off. So right now we are looking at 17. So there is a chance we could hit 20 tonight. All right, this could get interesting like you just mentioned, Zach. Blake may have some tires. Kyle's been running the high side. Jesse's been running the high side. I would not count out Barker either. I know we're watching Jeff Barker like it's Danica Mania, but come on, you gotta love what Barker's doing here tonight. This is awesome.
Yeah, no, definitely can't count out Barker, but man, I got my eyes on that 24 right now. He is a screaming demon on that high side, and they haven't had to worry about that 24 all race as he had to climb his way up through the field. But man, now, as we like to say, he's a shark out there. He's blood in the water.
And now it's single file restarts for the rest of this one. Patrick Spangler hang on over his championship full. If he wins, he closes down the gap towards the championship. Here we go with 8 laps to go. Oh, Moonen caught the wall in 1. 4 wide once again. Barely enough room by Jesse Bandy to hang on to 3rd. I don't know how. Yellow is out. Connor is off track, and somebody else did too. Brandon Templeton also goes around off for 4. Show you what happened. That won't count as Connor spun on the racetrack, so it won't count towards the fall-off count. But we need to watch this restart one more time featuring Kyle Moonen. Boys, how did Moonen hang on to this thing coming back to the green? Let's watch from the aerial shot.
Yeah, that could have went really bad for him. That thing bicycled a lot when he got into that wall.
But just look at the lane, just barely able to hang on to 3rd. They were nearly 5 wide as well off of 2.
Yeah, we saw him Noonan, it took him a couple laps to get by. You know, Bandy and him, they are teammates, but Jesse wants a good finish just as bad as Kyle does. So Kyle knew he had to really pin it to the floor there and try to go back by on the outside. And you saw just a little window, but man, he fit it through. The lights are off.
What are you thinking here, Brandon?
Blake Chapman is gonna have to find some way to throw a massive slider on Patrick if he's gonna have any chance here in the next 7 laps. Moonin, the way he's been running, he might just have a chance at Patrick as well.
Alrighty, 7-lap shootout to determine the winner at Lernerville. Here we go. Spangler holds serve. Chapman keeps it on the bottom. We were nearly 4 wide again for third. Moonin hanging on for that position. He's got it for now. Chapman, though, wants the race lead on the high side. Banger out in front with 6 to go. Spangler hanging on for now. Caution waves. Barry Goldner, Bob DeGood, Gary Taylor. Cautions, breeding cautions at the moment, boys. DeGood just sent it into Barry Goldner, and then there goes Gary Taylor off the track.
Yeah, he came from Ohio with that one. I don't think Barry saw him coming.
Honestly, I don't know what that was all about, to be honest. Nowhere to go, the captain would go. So instead had to go, I believe they say on the boat's starboard. You go right. It's either that or port.
I get seasick. You were asking the wrong guy, I can tell you that.
I don't go on a cruise, so you're asking the wrong guy here too.
I'm going on a cruise in August.
You're doing that over Knoxville?
At the end of August.
Oh, okay. Just had to make sure.
No, I'm not missing Knoxville.
Good. Unfortunately, I can't go this year.
Yeah, you're ditching us.
Hey, 2025, I'll be back. Don't worry.
Better be.
I'm not saying why I'm missing out on Knoxville. Let's just say there's another vacation day I am taking, and because of that, we have a CRSA race on the weekend of the Knoxville Nationals. So, all right, we're coming back to the green flag. Patrick Spangler, Blake Chapman, Kyle Moonin, the top 3. A 5-lap shootout to determine who wins it.
Green, green, green.
Much better restart this time for Blake.
Could he get the lead going into turn number 3? We're going to find out.
Got a big run.
A lot of bite off for turn 2 for the salesman. Can he get the lead? One off track hard. That was Kyle Moonin. So move Jesse Bandy up into third as Chapman and Spangler continue to trade the lead.
Spangler's better in 3 and 4, but Blake Chapman is a heck of a lot better in 1 and 2.
3 laps to go. Spangler clears. This may be slide job time for Blake Chapman here. We'll just have to see. 2 laps to go. Spangler's got Chapman cleared. Blake's, I think he's going to need a yellow flag here.
Yeah, Blake's just binding himself up too much, standing on the bottom in 3 and 4. He just can't work it like he can in 1 and 2.
Jesse Bandy, Gavin Chatham touch. Jeff Barker looking for a podium spot. Chatham gets sideways. No caution. White flag is out. We're on the final lap.
Come on, Jeff.
Taylor the way.
Jeff Barker trying to get third on Jack Head. Out in front, though. Chapman for the slide job. Doesn't work. Spangler with the win. Here they come.
Come on, Jeff. Come on, Jeff.
Jack Head takes third over Jeff Barker.
What a steal there from Jack Head. I thought Barker was going to go up there and park it on him, but man, he thought better of it, and Jack stole it.
Patrick Spangler takes the win here tonight. We all wanted to see Jeff finish third.
Yeah, we love you, Jack, but I think even he understands that one. Jeff's a big big time part of this league. And man, if you're not rooting for Jeff, I don't know what your problem is.
There you saw it right there. Kyle Moonen off track into turn number 3. We'll show you Gavin Chatham as well. We may have just hit 20. We did. 20 on the fall off count tonight. I was the closest.
Yeah, you boys in the 358s really let us down with the, with the no going over.
Yeah, damn it, open 358s, what the heck? There are your results here tonight. Jack hit up 5 spots. Your biggest mover with Moonen crashing is Brandon Templeton from 12th up to 5th. Great run for him tonight. You see there, Jeff Barker in 4th, probably the story of the night. Obviously, Spangler winning at home, closing in on the lead in the championship. Blake Chapman, not by much, though. 12 drivers finishing on the lead lap. Heartbreak for Gavin Chatham, as well as Kyle Moonen and Connor Ross. So I think we've got, we just need Jack hit. I think this is Jack here, so let's bring him on in here. Jack, what a race for 3rd there at the end. How did you steal it from Jeff Barker there on the final lap? He's speechless. He's speechless. Jack, you got a copy? Earth to Jack. La 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 la.
Paging Jack hit.
All right, we'll try him in just a bit. Let's go to Blake Chapman, finishing 2nd. Zach, we'll let you take this one.
Well, Blake, man, it just seems like these podiums are just a constant for you on Monday night. You made it real interesting there at the end. Did you think you had anything for him?
I was telling Terry in our Discord room, I'm like, I think I got some for him if it's a green, white, checkered, but if he's got like 5 laps to get his momentum built up, I don't think I stood much of a chance, and that's exactly what happened. I was hoping for a caution in the last couple laps, but didn't get him when I needed him. But yeah, I think it was a pretty fun race. I decided to throw in a bottom set and run this bottom. I was looking at the lineup, I'm like, well, I know if I go low, the top side's dominant, Patrick's going to be able to get me, but I think I can hold off pretty much everybody else in the field. And yeah, the top side was the place to be tonight for sure, but we were able to hold our own on the bottom.
Well, you answered the question before I can even get it out. So I'm guessing, what, you just gear yourself for the bottom? You didn't really have anything that could run up top?
Yeah, I found a setup that I've liked, that I've won a couple of races with on the bottom, and threw that in with quite a bit of gear. If I was up top, I think I would almost blow the motor up. I had so much gear in it, but so I decided not to go up top tonight. But yeah, I can't complain with the 2nd place finish.
No, you're exactly right, kid. You can't, and you just keep on clicking them off. You're going to hold on to this points lead after that, and only a couple more weeks to go. So you keep your head up, you keep finishing the podium, and you're going to lock yourself up another championship. Good run tonight, kid. You got anybody you want to thank?
Yeah, I got to thank the parents for watching. Got to thank the guys at the Krite Sim Racing Team and the Can-Am Racing Team. Got to thank Preston at Epsilon Sprint Wraps, Andy at A&J Custom Creations. Of course, I got to thank Galen's Gourmet Popcorn.
Oh, here it comes.
You guys know they got some of the best stuff out there, and you can head over to their website. And don't forget to use code CART, that's C-A-R-T, at checkout, 15% off of your purchase. And I got to thank you guys for putting this on.
Awesome.
Hey, heck of a job tonight, Blake, man. We love talking to you. You're a great driver to have around here, and I'm sure we'll be interviewing you a couple more times this season, that's for sure.
I hope so, Zach. Thanks.
So Blake Chapman finishing 2nd. Let's get your winner here in victory lane. And the high side banger, Patrick Spangler using the high side to hold off Blake Chapman. What a win, man. Congratulations. How was that car tonight?
Thanks. I was hesitant in the heat race. I was all over the place, couldn't get to the top. But in the feature, I was just hoping the top wouldn't go away and hoping there wasn't any cautions. And then I think there was 3 cautions in a row. We didn't even complete a lap, but I figured all the heat cycles, my tires would be gone. And with this build we have now, it's anything around the bottom right now. Blake can just cook it down there and get the 0Xs each week. So it's a tough hill to climb to try and catch them, but just going for wins at this point. But yeah, after those last couple cautions, almost like a sponge. Like when you're at around the top there, your tire just feels like a sponge where it's just going back and forth, like when you're pushing down on it, because you're just not biting into the track. So it was difficult, but I wanted to win there.
Did you think Chapman had anything for you there?
Yeah, because I knew the bottom was still pretty tacky, and the bill doesn't really have a cushion very much, and I was either gonna put it into the woods in turn 2 or hopefully get the win. I just it's always something here. I was winning one time and went over, and John Short I think got that win, and then it's always Goldner or Lacey making the bottom work here. So getting the first win here, pretty happy there.
Well, next week we stay in your home state. We go to Port Royal. How you feeling going in?
I think that's I think the only time the top's really been viable is Eldor and Lernerville so far this season, and Port's almost always on the top. I haven't ran it on the new build, so hopefully the top's there, and I usually have some good luck there. Just got to survive that turn 1 crater they have there in the cushion.
Final question: who do you want to give shout-outs to?
Yeah, just you, Zach, and Brandon up in the booth. There's always a good time each week listening to you guys back, and Triangles Racing, Raj for Run the League, Blake for Run Me Clean. There's everybody run clean for the most part tonight. And Dad and Uncle back on watching.
Alrighty, well, congratulations. A great win for you tonight once again. You closing on the championship lead for Blake Chapman, and best of luck next week.
Thank you.
So Patrick Spangler, the winner. Let's get a last call here for Jack Hitt. Let's see if we got him. Jack Hitt, you got a copy? All right, I don't think we've got him. So, all right. Oh well, we tried though. You know what would be a good alternative though? The 4th place finisher, Jeff Barker. Jeff, it's Marty and the boys. You got a copy?
Hi.
All right, we got him. We couldn't get Jack Hitt, so we got you instead. What a hell of a run tonight, man. Where'd that come from?
I don't know. I was just driving really, really hard, and it was working out, and I didn't hit anything, and I was kind of hoping we wouldn't get a caution there early on. At a pretty good gap on 4th place, but wasn't good on restarts. But I fought for it and ended up in a decent spot.
Were you trying to save tires at the same time early in the race, running the low line, or pretty much following Chapman in this race? I
was trying to not go over the top of the track. That's always my goal at Lernerville, and that was it. I was down there. I was down there by design, and it was just working out that it was good on tires. I had like 62% left at the end.
How bad were you going for 3rd there in the final laps? I think we saw you go 2 for 1 at the white flag.
Yeah, I one of those times I kind of wish I was running a mirror, but I didn't have any idea whether he was inside or outside of me. I could have drifted up and had a better time, but I didn't know where Jack was. I had no idea.
How are you enjoying this one tonight? I mean, this has got to feel like a win for you in the Renegades.
Yeah, it's really good. It's my first top 5 of the season, and a 0X on top of that, so that's cool.
Even better, even better. Who do you want to give shout-outs to on the run tonight, boss?
Yeah, definitely you guys for broadcasting, make it all exciting and stuff. C2C Race or C2C Racing League for putting on the league. Malcolm's Mills Motorsports, Malcolm's Mills Mill Writing Motorsports for sponsoring us, and yeah, that's about it.
Alrighty, well, we will let you go, Jeff. Congratulations on a great run. Best of
luck.
All right,
thanks for having me, Marty.
Royal.
Thanks.
All right, we will get you back in your room. I think we got him in the proper room, which we do. So, alrighty, I need to check something here in the Renegade history. So Jeff has had 106 prior starts in Renegade action. I'm going to check and see if that's his best ever Renegades finish. While we were at it, let's bring the booth back up here for final thoughts. Brandon, we're going to start with you.
Oh, just another night of race, another night of a track that I'm not too happy with. But, rough day, but a great racing all around for everybody else. It was fun to watch. It's fun to be in the catbird seat for a lot of it. And, yeah.
Final thoughts for you, Zach? I'm sorry, go ahead.
I didn't know what I was gonna say.
Gotcha. Zach?
Well, all in all, a pretty good night. And not to change the subject, but man, Corey Day just lost his right front tire. I was a little sidetracked going to turn one. Yeah, he was out front. But oh man, all in all, good night of racing. We saw sliders back and forth in the heats. Connor really drove his tail off and gave us some showings in the heats. It's a shame he went over. I was really rooting for him, but man, got to go back to this build, how great iRacing's doing. I mean, we got to see Blake run the bottom and Patrick run the top, and they were both competitive, going hard, and at the end of the day, that's all we can ask for is in the broadcast booth.
I will tell you this, the last time I believe Jeff Barker had a podium, that wasn't his best finish of the season. His best was a third at this same track at Lernerville on January 10th, 2022. So it's been a while since the Birds and Bees has been near the front in Renegades, and so that was very cool to see, though. Very happy for Barker. But with that being said, we are going to sign off here on tonight. Oh, did I forget Brandon, too?
Do what?
Did I already talk? Did I get your final thoughts?
Yeah.
Okay, that's what I thought. I'm sorry. I lost my train of thought there. So, all right, we're going to sign off here for tonight. Thanks for joining us on this Monday night. I'm back for with the Coast to Coast Racing Network, all the fine drivers and sponsors, all the great admins and great drivers and crew, Roger and his great crew. On behalf of my broadcast partners tonight, Zach Chapman, Brandon Dittmer, Dean Reynolds, Marty Sakala saying so long. Your winners tonight, Brandon Templeton, as well as Connor Ross and Patrick Spangler. So long.